Hello everybody, I am the voice Craig Anderson, and you're listening to Dirt Sheet Mania, Episode 2. Hello everybody and welcome to Dirt Sheet Mania. I am the voice Craig Anderson, alongside as always Kieran Smith. Hi Kieran.
Can you please roll your R's, please?
Kieran Smith, the director. Hi director, how are you doing?
I'm very tired.
Monday Night Raw.
I'm still very tired.
I'm knackered.
For us, as much as I love WWE, I love watching wrestling, but 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. is just
not good.
It's a killer, especially when you've had a long weekend of wrestling.
It's been a very long few days of WWE action, so we're going to kick things off. First things first, Jonathan Coachman's back on Raw.
Jonathan Coachman is back on Raw.
Friggin' love Coach, and I tell you what, you notice the difference. The chemistry that Coach Cole and Corey Graves had, I really enjoyed it.
I don't think it was smooth.
No, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
But first show is better than Booker, because I think Booker just talks absolute
straight off the bat.
nonsense.
What I really liked is when they were talking about, like, Corey and Cole would go, wow, Braun Strowman's big. I loved it when Coach went, this is the first time I've seen Braun Strowman live and he's incredible. I loved that kind of, like, he's bringing in that, like, first time. If you're a new person watching wrestling and you hear Coach say, this is the first time I've seen him too, and he's incredibly, like, I've never seen anything like it. It just brings a little bit more realism to it.
He adds almost a legitimacy as well.
Because he's from ESPN.
Because he's come from ESPN.
And people that have some people will only have known Coach from ESPN, which is mad to think, considering what we've done in wrestling. Anyway, we start off, Stephanie's in the ring, and quickly Asuka joins her down in the ring, quickly announcing that they will be, in 4 weeks' time, the very, very first, another groundbreaking announcement for the women, a women's Elimination Chamber match. Superb announcement.
Yeah, I think that makes it every single match, bar obviously the
First blood match.
Yeah, all those sort of but all the main pay-per-view matches will have been
TLC.
That could be one. Has there been?
It's going to happen though, isn't it?
It'll happen at some point.
When we get to the TLC pay-per-view, I think probably. But no,
which is the end of the year.
At the end of the year. So anyway, Elimination Chamber match will happen. Asuka says she doesn't really. One quick thing that, like, Stephanie asks Asuka who she wants to face again. She doesn't really answer us, but she does go off in a humongous, angry tirade in Japanese. Now, I've watched a little bit of New Japan, and obviously they cut a lot of promos in English, some of them.
Yeah.
Obviously I know what they're saying, but some of the Japanese, most of the Japanese people might not know what they're saying. I think, again, just adds to the legitimacy of Asuka.
Yeah, I
think
that's almost a problem. Look, both Rumble winners on Sunday were from Japan. They don't have the best English.
Shinsuke's has got really good, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm not saying that they can't, but, in terms of an English-speaking TV programme, it can come across as quite hard to understand them. But as long as they use it in the right moments...
We had to listen to Booker T for months. These two make it very easy to listen to.
Exactly. But as long as they don't give them too much, and what they give them is easy to understand and makes sense, it can work perfect.
I agree. I don't mind. Anyway, Sasha comes out, because Asuka's going, nobody's ready for Asuka, no one can beat Asuka. Again, didn't really answer who she's going to face or wants to face at WrestleMania.
I think wasn't Cole alluding to on commentary, is it best to wait? Well, I think Stephanie said it first.
It's best to wait?
Yeah, because obviously after the Women's Elimination Chamber, SmackDown's obviously got a pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So I think she wanted to say, Asuka, I think it might be best to wait to see who you're facing.
Yeah, do you know what? I really want them to wait. There's no need to pull that trigger too quickly. Let's let them wait.
And because they said that the winner of the Rumble can choose what champion they want to face now, Shinsuke chose AJ straight away.
Yeah, straight away.
Asuka didn't choose anyone, so it gives that little...
She didn't have the chance to choose anyone because Ronda Rousey came out.
Asuka could turn up at Fastlane, which is a SmackDown pay-per-view, and just sit there at ringside watching the match.
She could
just adds a little extra element.
She could batter Charlotte. Carmella could cash in, and she could face Carmella at WrestleMania. Yep. We don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen between now and WrestleMania. 69 days as a Monday Night Raw. So anything can happen.
So that means it's 68 days on SmackDown. So that means it's 67 days today.
Today, the day we're recording this.
Here's your WrestleMania countdown presented by Kieran Smith.
Exactly. Who needs a Rusev Day calendar? By the way, get that from WWEshop.com.
It's $8.95.
Brilliant. Although you've missed January now, so never mind.
Does that mean you get half off?
A month off, a 12th off.
Oh, yeah.
Please, we're trying to do this quickly instead of just bambling. Sasha Banks is out and makes a challenge to Asuka for later on tonight. Stephanie makes that match, Asuka versus Sasha, later on tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Sasha's showing very heel tendencies in the last
couple of
weeks. I like it.
She's the boss, man.
Yeah, she should be.
Who does she eliminate from the Rumble?
Bailey.
And she bloody loved it, and I loved
we
it
didn't
too.
see Bailey at all, did we?
Barely. On Raw? No,
I
I
think we
don't.
did.
Can't remember. No, We'll find out in about a minute when I run through my notes, but I'm like 90% sure we didn't. We do find out from earlier tonight that Kurt Angle has made 6 matches, determining the winners of each match will be in the men's Elimination Chamber match for Elimination Chamber, and the winner of that match will face Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania.
Roman Reigns.
Lots of words, Roman Reigns. This week we're going to see Kane versus Braun in a last man standing, Matt Hardy versus Elias, and Finn Balor and John Cena in our main event, a first time ever match in Finn and Cena. So we move on. We see straight up Braun Strowman versus Kane, a last man standing match. This is the first thing we see on Raw.
Very surprising.
A last man standing
match. Very surprising they started this off, but it's good. I think it's good when you start off with a match that's as explosive as this, especially a last man standing match. And anything involving Braun Strowman at the moment is just tremendous.
Even the mixed match challenge. I mean, straight off the bat, I think this is probably the quickest last man standing match ever.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't hear a 10.
Did you hear a count? I think the referee just called it because
he just called it.
Kane had a whole stage on top of him.
Like, okay, some of the sort of gimmick stuff they've done with Braun tipping stuff. You know, lots of camera angles, lots of like, oh, look, he's doing it. He did this.
Yeah.
You can't pretend he didn't do this. It's in plain sight. In front of thousands of people in the
Wells Fargo Centre in Philadelphia.
That's why you're here and why I'm over here. He did that in front of all those people, and he trapped Kane under there. And then so you know, Braun's in the Elimination Chamber match. Surely he's going to win. Surely, without even having to mention anybody else's name.
At this point of time, Craig, as we're talking about who's in it, Braun Strowman's the only person in it, so he is.
Well, he is. Okay, so we move on then. We move on to the next board. Again, I think I said earlier, I love Coach saying the first time he's ever seen him because it adds to the realism of it. Kurt Angle's backstage with Braun Strowman and he rips into him. And just for about half a second, Braun's like, yeah, come on, maybe I should have sort of... Nope, he doesn't. He just turns around and goes, well, you called last man standing, Kurt. I went out there and did my job. Kurt knows he can't control him. How is he going to control him between now and WrestleMania and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, potentially could that lead into a Kurt Angle Braun Strowman match? I mean, I think it would be crazy, but
I think that'd be because Kurt would have to win that, surely.
Maybe so, but maybe they're just teasing. Maybe like the Miz and Daniel Bryan back on SmackDown.
Exactly,
a couple of years ago.
Braun said that he's going to rip into everyone at the Elimination Chamber and then go straight through Brock at WrestleMania and become your new Universal Champion. Why he didn't do it the night before, I don't really know. No. So we'll see how that goes. It's
Kane's fault, and that's why he took it out on Kane.
I think so. Well, he destroyed Kane. Kane did take that fall.
Kane will probably be off TV now, I'd expect. He could appear next
Even at the Rumble match, you had Braun in the ring going, you didn't beat me, with Brock walking away. So there we go. We move on to Elias versus Matt Hardy. Quickly, just very, very quickly, you can actually see them building the new announce table at ringside.
Yeah.
And I loved that. It's not like, oh, we're going to cut to break, do a bunch of backstage segments while we build the ring. They were building the ring while the match was going on.
Yeah.
That just adds realism, which is what we want from our wrestling. Yeah,
the new announce table was pretty close to the ring, which
it was very close.
A little bit weird.
There's normally that little kind of like incline, isn't that little kind of gap in between the barriers, but that was quite very close to the ring. Bray manages to distract Matt Hardy, and Elias does get the win, picks up the win. He will be in the Elimination Chamber, being Matt Hardy.
I'm glad Elias is in the chamber. It's a bit. We foreshadowed last week, or you had this idea that the Great War could be a tag team between Bray and Matt.
And I tell you what,
they did tease it at the Rumble.
They did, and I'll tell you, at one point you turned around to me and went, you might be right. And then
I just pointed at you. That was it.
You did just point at me.
I pointed at a WrestleMania sign.
I am a walking WrestleMania sign. So great. Really happy for Elias and Braun and Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy's story continues.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of building up Elias. I don't know what this means for Cena versus Elias, but if you're in the chamber there, I think that's always going to be one of those underlying rivalries.
Well, we'll get to the main event in a bit, and we'll see how that's kind of progressing, because it does. You're right. It does kind of tie back in quite nicely. I think storytelling. Yeah, we love storytelling. Next matchup, Miz versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental title. 2 weeks in a row, they've been in the same spot I think it's top of the first hour.
Yeah.
These guys have so much chemistry.
Yeah.
I loved this. I really,
You just
really
got to
did.
remember that Roman can't wrestle. So
He can't. No, he can't. That's interesting. So if he can't wrestle, how did he put on such a good match 2 weeks in a row?
Crazy, isn't it?
I don't understand.
Maybe because the Miz is awesome.
He is, isn't he? He's so great.
He is.
This, honestly, kids, I love this match, mate.
Yeah,
I mean, again, the Miz Taraj as well. They did their stuff brilliantly. Their timing is so brilliant, and Miz wins.
Yeah.
He wins again.
He does, and we're obviously talking about that announce table that was too close to ring. Curtis Axel sold the fact he got Superman punch and then smacked his face off that announce table that was close by. But look,
Great chemistry
between two. Great match. Love seeing it. I mean, I don't know if I want to see it too many more times in the coming future. But
it's been on 2 weeks in a row, mate.
It's one of those matches that WWE know they can go in now and go, well, do you know what? We're looking for a match tonight. Let's put Reigns and Miz in together because they know they can deliver.
But I tell you what, with the added incentive of the Mr. Raj at ringside as well and Axel and Dallas, again, without them, does it work as well? Maybe not.
Maybe not. But
just because they are moving pieces in this jigsaw. You know, if Maurice was there, yeah, she can get involved to an extent, but he can't Superman punch Maurice. He can't spear Maurice. He can spear Axel and Dallas.
Well, Miz speared Maurice. That's why she's pregnant. So,
congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Mazan.
Yeah.
We move on here at Monday Night Raw. The Revival beat Heath Slater and Rhino, and oh my god, they needed that. They needed to win a match.
I think this was a great little match as well. It was short, it was sweet, but Heath and Rhino got a bit of an offence in. But this is what Revival needs to do. They need to pick up little victories.
Start going through teams.
They need to have these little segments after their matches with Charlie Caruso in the ring.
They ran her down.
Yeah.
Big
and,
time.
you know, I mean, the wrestlers they mentioned, I mean, I'm sitting there like, who are you talking about right now? I can't even remember their names right now. But obviously, Charlie does a good job in selling the fact that she doesn't know who they are.
And originally, I thought that's dangerous because if Charlie doesn't know, then it's like, well, if the announcers don't know who they are, but I'm sitting there, I haven't got a bloody clue who these guys are.
But this is good. And it's the thing, they're paying homage to old school wrestlers, people that you know that they're basing their wrestling style on. Just beat them up. No flips, just fists.
No flips, just fists. Yeah.
You know, and they're paying homage to that style of wrestling, and it's good to see. And we know what they can do. We've seen what they can do on NXT. Mm-hmm. They're now giving them the opportunity to show it on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We move on to Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Great match.
Absolutely fantastic match.
Phenomenal match.
I wish, and this is not just her, there's a lot of superstars that do this that I worry, but when you go through those ropes and you always seem to clip it and you always seem to look like you're going to go neck first.
Sasha on these dives.
Sasha Banks done this dive. I think Asuka was meant to punch her or knee her. I think it was a knee, or was it a kick?
It was maybe a knee.
But I only think she only just caught it because Sasha clipped the ropes on the way through and she went down neck first. It was a horrible fall.
And just looking at Sasha Banks, I mean, it's not important how much she weighs, I know, but she must weigh about 105 pounds, maybe 110 pounds. She's super, super light. It just looks scary.
It does, and I think Asuka even had a horrible little fall on the outside during this match as well after this happened. And
it just
it just goes to show that they're giving it a all and they're giving everything to have a great match.
But
and
we want them to be around
match.
for years, though. That's
exactly.
the concern.
And I think obviously the concern when Sasha and Charlotte were flipping. Who was the Raw's Women's Champion?
The flip flop, yeah.
There was a lot of talk that Sasha was injured and that she couldn't take
the Hell in the Cell match.
She couldn't take the demands of working week to week.
Hence why they were like.
But this is where you got to do it, and this may lead into sort of what Daniel Bryan does. If Daniel Bryan ever comes back, maybe he has to change the way he wrestles. Maybe
he had a new style. He had that kind of on his all fours.
But, if he has to stop doing the suicide dives through the rope or the tope suicida, that's what you got to do. But I think Sasha needs to stop it because I think it's happened once too often, and it's not nice watching it. Even from a fan's perspective, it's not
from
nice.
us, we want
from
her
the people that care about it and the people that are friends of her backstage. To see that, it must make you wonder what they're feeling.
It's the same for me when I see Charlotte do that top rope moonsault to the outside. Yeah. I'm like, why are you doing this? Yeah. You don't need to do that for crying out loud. I mean, it's phenomenal when she lands it every time, but if it goes wrong once.
Yeah,
that's
Lita doing that moonsault with the Royal Rumble. I mean, she always didn't rotate enough. And
buddy, when she went up, I was like, I'm not sure about this. When's the I think I said to you, when's the last time Lita did a moonsault? And I tell you what, that was sure. Was it Bayley and Sasha underneath there?
Yeah, I think it was Becky and Sasha. Yeah,
Becky and Sasha.
Yeah.
That was
horrible to see.
But
anyway, but it was a great match.
Phenomenal.
Almost. I mean, look, I think we knew that Asuka was going to win it, but I think they've done such a great job in saying that Sasha almost won it. few little reversals here and at the end,
Yeah.
and it was just a great match.
We now go backstage to two, I don't know if they were next to each other or slightly apart, but we go to two videos that were done on cell phones in America, camera phones, if you like, mobile phones. Finn Balor with the club, and John Cena on his own, walking backstage. Two-face, holding their cell phones in front of their face, talking to camera, and then submitted to Twitter for WWE television.
Whether it was cell phones or not, I don't know. It was probably just a normal camera, but they're just holding it to their face.
Possibly.
I liked this, and I liked because they've done it on Raw and they've done it on SmackDown now, and I like the fact that they're actually talking to you, not talking to someone else with a camera being on them, but them not acknowledging that the camera's there.
I think I said to you off air, it almost feels like when they're talking to the camera and I'm sat at home, it almost feels like they're talking to me, which is what you want. You want them to feel like they're in your living room, which is what Vince McMahon would obviously absolutely, want to include.
I'm not too sure about the little graphics they put on for all the keywords in it. I think that over time that'll grow. What
do you mean, like the Twitter account?
Yeah, no, I mean on the videos there was like, I can't remember, like Rusev, what on SmackDown had like Rusev Day, and suddenly the words Rusev Day.
Like when Brian did that thing with top 10.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later. But yeah,
it comes up with I don't know if it's different. I'm gonna.
That's the kids.
Yeah,
that's the kids.
I'm gonna keep an open eye on it, and it is quite clearly for social media, because what they do on social media now is that videos autoplay. And with autoplay, there's no sound on them. So if there's no sound, they have almost subtitles. Yeah. These are going to be subtitles of the main things.
And they're better subtitles than the ones you get on.
But I like this, and I also want to give a quick shout out to the new Raw graphics. It's refreshing. It's nice to see, and the fact that it's red and white now rather than red and black, I think it makes the show a bit more lighter, because from memory, Raw always seems dimly lit, and because of red's quite a dark colour to light an arena with.
Don't you mean black?
Yeah. But with the red and white logo, I think it just lightens things up, and it's fresh, and it's good to see.
Do you remember Tout?
I do remember Tout.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 10 being delicious, how would you scale Tout?
It was horrendous.
It was pretty terrible.
It was horrendous.
I think now, through the power of Twitter, which was there all along, and maybe they just didn't realise that Twitter could sustain such a video like it has done. Because there used to be a thing called Twit Video or Twit Longer when there was only 140 characters. And I was at 240 characters now, and I think you can record for 140 minutes or 140 seconds. Yeah. Twitter is what they wanted Tout to be. Yeah. It's brilliant.
I think they found a way to get this point now. Because look, I don't think WWE and most TV shows base their ratings on what people watch these days, is what social media interactions they have, and
the YouTube
if
videos.
They can have these videos on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they're going to do it for clicks basically, and having these videos
clickbait.
Done like that,
clickbait. How often do you see on mainly Monday Night Raw, but also on SmackDown, when you see that little graphic of WWE has more social media interactions or followers than the World Cup, the NBA, the NFL, the NBL, whatever it is.
What does the NBL stand for?
Major League Baseball?
That's MLB.
Thank you.
Let's go Cubs.
Go Cubbies. We have more interactions and more followers than all them put together. It's like, cool, but they don't put out.
Now this means something. Look, it's the first time they've used it. I like it. I still think they've got a long way to go to it, and I think they've got to still position it in the right places. Look, the two that they used on Raw for Finn and Cena, which was for the main event, was a perfect use of it. Just dotted it in and about the show, talking to the camera, put over the main event, then it becomes must-see. Not that it was already must-see, but it become, I really want to watch this.
More realism in it, because you can check on Twitter or social media and you can see it before it's even out there. Yeah. So I really like that. We move on. Okay, so we got Titus Worldwide, Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil versus The Bar for the Raw Tag Team titles. And you know what? On results of the last couple of weeks, rightly so. Yeah. Because they have beat The Bar, Apollo and Titus twice, I believe twice. And now The Bar are the Tag Team champions. They absolutely deserve a shot because they were number one contenders. Now they're the champs. They should get a shot. Yeah. Okay, the match aside, The Bar won. Of course, The Bar were going to win. There was no question in my mind that The Bar were going to be traditional champions to the to Titus Worldwide.
Sorry.
But for me, I must admit, I thought they were gaining some momentum.
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about results, I'm talking about crowd interaction.
Yeah.
But you could hear a pin drop when they came to the ring. You could hear a pin drop when they got announced by JoJo.
Yeah.
So for me, just you please say what you think. But for me, hearing them announced, and to me the crowd reactions for the last couple of weeks when they beat the Bar, people now, what I'm convinced, were more excited to see the Bar lose in what effectively is an upset twice.
Yeah.
And it was embarrassing for the Bar in that respect. They were more interested to see that than they were to see Apollo and Titus win.
See, I agree. I don't think the bar should have won, which they did and was correct. But this event, this Raw, was the third night of 4 nights in the same arena.
True.
Now, especially with the Rumble matches, and we saw that on the Rumble itself. After the Rumble matches, they were burnt out. It was horrible. They couldn't cheer as much. On Raw, you're only going to cheer for the things that you really, really, really want to see, like the Finn Balor, John Cena main event, the Roman Reigns Miz match. This match wasn't a must-see. This match, if you wanted to go to the toilet at this point, you probably could have gone.
Yeah.
Right?
You knew what was happening.
So you're going to say, you try and save your energy. We've been to shows before, and even with 3-hour Raw, sometimes we're burnt out by the end of it because we're cheering so hard and making up chants about, anything.
Beach balls.
Yeah, beach
John
balls.
Cena
Yeah, exactly. Things like that. But, maybe this Philly crowd, they're probably just burnt out. And because it is a lot of wrestling that they've had in the last couple of days. And
this is only night 3.
Yeah.
And a lot of them would have gone to all 4 shows.
So what was it, about 11, 12 hours of wrestling from Saturday to Tuesday?
All unique aspects.
And
so fair enough. But maybe on that reflection, maybe we will see in future weeks if this transpires. But for me, it was disappointing to see.
Yeah, it was disappointing to see. But as long as they building up these other tag teams, we've had the Revival getting built up, and now we're having a Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews built up.
Yeah.
Let's see another tag
Where's
team get
Tozawa? Is he part of Titus Worldwide?
I think he was, but I don't think he's been on 205 Live much either.
He's been injured?
I'm not too sure.
No.
Not too sure.
Anyway, move on to the main event. John Cena versus Finn Balor in a really good match. Straight off the bat, I'm like, okay, they've got the club back together. You've got Balor club back together. It's great. It's the boys. Finn Balor's going to win. He's going to go on to the, to the Elimination Chamber. He's never been in an Elimination Chamber match. Oh, no, Cena won. No.
Yeah, I was a little at this point on Monday. I was feeling very tired and I may have fell asleep. But I tried to stay awake because I sat down and I was like, right, I need to watch this main event because I want Finn to win. And how Finn wins is, does Undertaker cost Cena the match? That's what my thought was. Whether that's the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, I don't know.
But it didn't happen.
But it didn't happen. Very surprised that Cena won, but
he mocked the club halfway through as well. He mocked
too sweet. Is this a sign of things to come? I don't know. Look, Finn's still a baby face. Just. He's acting with heel tendencies. Look, Finn still may qualify for the Elimination Chamber. There might be just a last chance. We don't know. You can sit there and crap on this at the moment, but Finn still may qualify for it.
I wouldn't say I'm going to crap on it. I just think I'm really surprised. Personally, I'm really surprised that they went down this angle. I think, by the looks of it, they want to try and at least have us believe that Cena will go to WrestleMania and become a 17-time world champion. Yeah. We will see what happens. You know what I mean? There could be bait and switch. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know if Undertaker's actually cleared to WrestleMania. And if he's not, who does Cena face?
Right. Again.
So it could be Cena Finn.
It could be. It really could be.
Cena Braun. It could be anyone.
It could be Cena Brock again.
It could be.
I'm going to talk about the 205 Live really quickly because I think it's the best place to do it in between.
It's very interesting as well if we're talking about 205 Live. There wasn't actually any cruiserweight action on Raw.
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't,
no.
Very well.
That was Raw. We've just done Raw and there was no cruiserweight matches.
But with the announcement of the new 205 Live general manager...
It's Rockstar Spud.
Does this mean that they're not going to be featured on Raw so much? Because Daniel Bryan's the one who's made the announcement the last 2 weeks. And
he's attached to SmackDown. Now, I know he's there so he can do it.
Yeah.
But, we all know that, Shane is at SmackDown.
Yeah.
We all know he's there. Triple H is at SmackDown.
Kurt can film a 5-minute or 30-second video. It's not hard.
I think they, without actually telling us, I think SmackDown has kind of now unofficially adopted the cruiserweight.
Yeah,
which
you know,
always made more sense.
it always
to me.
did. We always said that the cruiserweight thing.
Do you remember? And I can't remember who was in the match, but there was a match where the cruiserweights were on the line. Mick Foley made a match, didn't he? Was it Kalisto versus?
Yeah, there was
Neville?
it was the Sami Zayn versus the Miz for the Intercontinental title when Sami was on Raw and Miz was on SmackDown, and then the cruiserweights was on with Kalisto and
the winners of
Brian Kendrick. Was
maybe
it?
We're going back a 6 months.
Yeah,
to
this was at Survivor's, the first Survivor Series after the new brand split.
And we thought then, I can see what's going to happen here. You know, the cruiserweights will come to SmackDown because it's taped on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because making the cruiserweights do Monday and Tuesday.
And this is on top of them doing live events as well.
Which they're now doing as well.
Yeah, some of them do NXT live events still.
They do, because,
you know, so they're literally doing 5-6 days a week.
It seemed a little unnecessary, if you ask me. So Rockstar Spudders, the new GM, did not see this coming. I thought it would be the Hurricane. Could have been Dean Malenko.
There was a lot of the tweets that they showed on Raw and SmackDown.
We should say Rockstar Spudders' new gimmick name is.
So it's Drake Maverick. Which, you know,
it's
not a very English sounding name. Maybe Drake is, but Maverick not so much. No. But, you know, I like it. He looks different, but is he going to be an active wrestler? And I'd assume that's why he got signed, because he was going to wrestle.
Well, from personal experience of having the pleasure of actually refereeing Spud 2 or 3 times, he works extremely hard. He's a great communicator. He tells you how he sees it. He doesn't meet around his words, which I think is maybe what needs to be done. Obviously, he's not in any legitimate authority position. It's an on-screen gimmick. I'm just readjusting my microphone. You know, I think eventually he will wrestle. But right now he's great on a mic. He's cut a great promo. I think he's. The problem is that when I saw him, I was cheering. I was happy.
Yeah, I was too.
Still, nobody knew who he was, did they?
Yeah,
really
quiet. That was the problem.
Really quiet. Hurricane, Dean Malenko, someone like that.
Yeah, you would have thought with the way that going at a bigger name would have been.
I mean, you guessed Ray, but I mean.
Yeah, you know, Ray. Like, as we saw, Ray can still go. It needed to be someone that was retired. You know, Billy Kidman. But Spud, Billy Kidman's a road agent.
They could have just wheeled them out, done a promo, put them back. But
yeah, exactly.
Hell, I think it's great. It's different. It's English. And he invited Tyler Bates to a Five Live as well.
And there was a lot of rumours out on Tuesday as well that they were potentially going to put just the UK division with the 205 Live boys and just have the show on 205 Live.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. And
Wolfgang, T-Bone.
Yeah.
They're not cruiserweights.
I'd say most of the talent on that show probably would be within the 205 Live limit, because they did do a 205 Live show when they were over in the UK, there were 6 talents lined up, I think, that weighed under 205.
There's a lot. But anyway, I'm really happy for Spud. I think, you know, like you said, it's his birthday.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be a dream, you know, a lifelong dream. He announced the 16-man cruiserweight tournament with the finals taking place at WrestleMania.
Hopefully it's not on the kickoff show, but I mean, let's be honest.
I think it will be.
It will be. It'll be 2 hours.
You know, be interesting to see, because I don't think they've got 16 people that'll fit it out, but could they bring back a Rey Mysterio? Will Rich Swann return now he's been cleared of all the charges?
Has he been cleared?
He has been cleared.
What we are now seeing, I know we had a little promo with TJ Perkins as well, basically saying, look, mate, you won the Cruiserweight Classic. You're the man. Come on, sort yourself out.
Yeah.
This is a Cruiserweight Classic rebrand. This is what it is. They've basically gone. I know.
And if they're only going to stay exclusive to 205 Live and not be on Raw, I think this is better.
I do, because
you know what you're tuning in for now.
You do, and I know you can you can watch Raw, and it's almost like the matches meant nothing. They were just an advert.
Yeah.
Watch us on the network after SmackDown. They weren't, you know. Have promos on 205 Live on Raw saying go watch 205 Live. Have them on SmackDown saying go watch 205 Live. Update them, because they're still the same old nonsense. They have not updated those packages since the 205 Live debuted, since the Cruiserweight Classic. There's still those kind of weird mannequin guys floating around. Yeah. Cut a sweet, tight-ass little 60-second promo with the Cruiserweights. Update it. Make it look like you want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch it. I'm sure you don't watch it.
No, I don't. I'm not going to lie.
I'll only sit there and watch it when I know there's something going to be good. Like, when the British guys are on there, I actually stayed and watched it.
When Austin Aries was on, I watched it.
Yeah.
When Enzo first went there, I watched it.
You know, but it's not vital viewing for me, and they need to make that vital viewing if that show is to survive.
I agree.
You know,
it's one of the poorest attendances on the network.
Yeah, and I've always said that the 205 Live should be recorded alongside NXT at Full Sail in a smaller arena with diehard fans, and I think
which is where the Cruiserweight Classic was.
And I think if they do that, it will survive better. But time will tell.
We move on to SmackDown Live. We open the show with Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring saying that he went through all these people, was it knee to face?
Yep.
And he got onto AJ. Knee to face means WWE Champion WrestleMania. Cammy come out, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, saying that they want their rematch now. AJ pinned the wrong guy at the Royal Rumble, which is true.
Yep.
The referee did claim there was a tag made, but there wasn't. There was no. Their hands didn't touch each other.
And Shane acknowledged this at the Rumble.
He did, and Brian
Mockingly.
did. He did. Yep. Yep. And then AJ comes out and says, "Let's make this dream match to WrestleMania. Let's make this a dream tag team tonight." Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens went, "Nah, we don't fancy this," and then they knocked them down from the apron and went to the back, and they wanted this, and in a hot second we see this is official for the main event.
Yeah, like we said earlier about Asuka's promo, Shinsuke's was short, sweet, and to the point. Not a lot of words used, but it doesn't, when someone doesn't have the best English, the best way to do it. Look, it's more than likely going to be Shinsuke versus AJ at WrestleMania. Look, obviously, AJ can lose the title at some point in between that point, but I don't see that happening.
No, I don't.
So there is going to be a lot of this, hey, let's be a tag team. And who knows, they might even end up tag team champions.
No.
It's something that WWE like to do when two baby faces are facing each other at WrestleMania.
Thankfully, though, it does look like the Usos are going to be doing other things with them against them. I'm just playing with my mic a lot. I know I'm really putting you off. Anyway, it's better now. I can think talk. Yeah, I really, really think that AJ versus as we said before, Nakamura can really tear the house down at WrestleMania. But anyway, move on because Brian's backstage now with Cammy, and he does make that match official for later on tonight. Dream match at WrestleMania will be a dream tag team: AJ Styles and Nakamura versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
You really can't say their names together.
I can't. I just think Cammy's an easier way to say it.
Yeah, but I don't like Cammy. I like Chris Kamara. I don't like Cammy.
But then Daniel Bryan. Now I think this promo right here, because for a while we thought, where's Bryan hanging his hat? Is there a conspiracy theory? That's slowly disappearing now, and
yes, it is slowly disappearing.
And with Shane as well, the tension there, that's kind of slowly disappearing as well. I think because Bryan makes a match next week on SmackDown Live, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and the winner will face AJ Styles at Fastlane.
And what I liked about this and about them announcing it so early is that it played on both Kevin's and Sammy's emotions throughout the rest of the show.
Especially in the match.
And that's what it is. You just plant a seed, run with it, let it grow, and let the repercussions happen between the two. And I like this, and I like that they announced it early on.
They did. I think
caused dissension between the two.
They did. Lots
of dissension. Look, if one turns on the other, or if they still end up a tag team, I don't know. But that's what we'll see in the next couple of weeks. We
move on to our number one contenders match for the United States Championship. This match will happen next week. The winner will face Bobby Roode, Kofi Kingston, Zack Ryder, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev Day. Rusev wins. Rusev is your number one contender.
Rusev does win. Before we get on to Rusev, what I liked was that Sammy, the match announcement for next week, is that it took place during the entrances of the US title match. Now, I'm not usually a big fan of the entrances not being shown on TV, but at this point it was good because it was, I can't remember who come out, but someone come out, they played the backstage segment, and then the match was ready to go.
Yeah, straight away.
SmackDown seemed to have to do that a lot more because they only have a 2-hour show.
Time constraints.
But I liked seeing it here because it was like, yes, we're straight into action. Let's go.
No, I like it. No, I agree.
But yeah, Rusev won. I like what they're doing with the US title at the moment. I like that Bobby Roode had a US Open challenge on Sunday.
And he was on commentary as well for this.
And he was on commentary.
So he was near the action.
But I like the fact that they're having a fatal four-way number one contenders match for a match next week. And then hopefully in the next couple of weeks, they'll just have a few more number one contender matches.
It makes me... Having a classic number one contenders match with 3 or 4 guys in, or girls for that matter, it makes me feel like a bit old schooly.
Yeah.
Like, right, we can't really decide who should be in. So all of you're in a match. The best one wins.
Yeah, and the thing
you
is,
get a title shot.
they were almost 4 randomers in some ways, really, weren't they?
all former US champion,
except for Jinder, but obviously Jinder's a WWE champion.
So he's more than a...
Yeah, I'm not to say that they're randomers, but Kofi
in a tag team or stable.
Yeah, exactly. Zack Ryder's not really done much since even breaking up the Mojo.
Just got destroyed by Mojo, didn't he? But yeah, congratulations to the Bulgarian brute, Rusev Day. They're on, and I can see him winning,
I don't know. I think Bobby will hold on to that title for a bit longer.
Nah, well, yeah, fair play. We now go backstage to the Usos. They say they are live and in living colour into a handheld mic, just exactly like on Monday Night Raw, and they are going to the ring. Yeah,
again, holding the camera, which seems to be the new format that WWE are going with. They were in a sort of backstage area with... steel cage fencing, the hashed fencing.
Uso penitentiary.
Yeah, very gritty, very with loads of smoke in the background. It was good to see.
Yeah,
refreshing, and it actually showed them walking away. And as we find out, they're walking to the ring.
They are
to have an in-ring segment.
They are, and they walk to the ring, and then they start listing off people that they've beat, the tag teams they've beaten. All of them on SmackDown. New Day, Rusev Day, Gable and Jordan. Then Jordan. Gable and Benjamin, so I think they called them American Alpha 1, done. American Alpha 2, done. And they went through all of them. They even then said when they were, was it back at Survivor Series that they beat the bar?
Yeah.
They said they're not even on SmackDown. We beat the bar as well. Lockdown had that little kind of graphic come up.
Yeah, I'm not so much sure of the graphic. I think it may have been a little cartoony, but I get the
sound
point.
Effects
I think it was the point, the emphasis, the point they're making. That's what lockdown means, is that they've locked them down.
But
they're behind bars. You can't beat us.
They pretty much were like, anyone from anywhere. I don't care who you are, where you are, what show you're on.
It would have been interesting if they maybe thrown a little Young Bucks reference in there, something just for a little,
If you think
you're 4-4 break,
if you think you're elite, something like
lockdown.
That. Yeah. I think that'd have been.
I'm
cool.
sure that'll come.
The New Day got away with it.
They did.
They did it a lot, didn't they? Yeah, we think you're elite, As they're about to leave, the Bludgeon Brothers come out, which I think we foreshadowed a little while ago.
Yeah.
That they're the only other team, and they've done nothing.
They haven't really done much. They haven't been on the show for a couple of weeks, I think, as well, which is... SmackDown's always hard because it's always hard to get every single talent on the show.
With adverts as well, you basically have around an hour and 25 minutes after ads to get everyone on, tell a story, start it up, wind it down. On Raw, you've got an extra whole. You've got an hour and 20, an hour and 25 on Raw, or an hour extra. So you've got 2.5. You don't have that on SmackDown. That's what Talking Smack was great for.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you had an extra half an hour.
And SmackDown over the last 6 months, I say, has missed Talking Smack.
So much.
This show, I don't think they did. I think they got everything in that they needed to do.
But the Bludgeon Brothers come out. They destroy a local tag team, and it's I can see this happening at Fastlane. Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah,
they're the only team. I'll tell you what though, if the Usos win, which I hope they do. Who knows? I think WrestleMania, there could be a massive match. The
thing is, the WrestleMania and the tag matches, WrestleMania potentially has a very, 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 very deep card to it. I mean, you could potentially say there's 15 matches you could have on that whole show. Now, there's no way, as much as WrestleMania is probably a 5-hour show these days, that they're going to have 15 matches. Will they potentially just do a Raw versus SmackDown tag match again? Just have both champs facing each other? Yeah, it
doesn't go anywhere, does it? That's the problem.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go.
I just hope they don't do a fatal 4-way match, because for me it's just we don't know what to do.
But we know at Mania they'll do an IC title or a US title match and a ladder. So they might even do a tag team match for the in a ladder or something like that.
But ladder match I'll be fine with.
Back to the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yep.
Back on the show. Good to see them. Again, they're trying to build up tag teams.
Yep.
And this is what they need to do. Yes, they are only facing local talent.
Doesn't matter, they killed them.
But the tag team division is not deep enough yet. So they need to beat this local talent, move on to someone else. I'd like them to have a better feud with the Ascension, because I think they're quite similar in terms of their gimmicks. But
So far past them now, though.
But yeah, they are, and I agree with that. But if they could build the Ascension up a little bit, maybe with a quick roll-up victory or something like that,
Non-title match.
because this is all it is. I just need to raise the tag team, the depth.
I don't want to go on it
up.
too much, but it's back to that dodgy 50-50 booking.
Yeah.
If you win half your matches and lose half your matches, you don't go anywhere.
No.
Happened with Anderson and Gallows on Raw for ages. Anyway, but yeah, Daniel Bryan now backstage again, sort of that camera sort of thing we were talking about earlier. I mean, tells us about the new top 10 list for SmackDown Live. So you will turn. I hope Ty's in at 10. So basically, this will be. There's 3 different ways that you can be listed, if you like, by your peers. Because the fans don't get to vote. We don't get to vote. Brian doesn't get to vote. Shane doesn't get to vote, and you can't vote for yourself. So you will be categorized in. It's decided in talent, leadership, and athleticism. That is the 3 different things. I'm not sure how you can do a list from a not a kind of a real sport sort of element. I don't know how this will work.
I don't understand. There's not a lot of details out of it. I mean,
well, there's a lot of details. It's just I don't know logistically it's going to work every week.
Is this a legitimate thing from the superstars? Will the superstars go and say, "Here's my vote. I think Rusev deserves a chance."
Like shoot.
Yeah.
It won't be though.
But it could be.
But it won't be.
But probably not. But they do like this fan interaction. That's why back in the day, Cyber Sunday and Taboo Tuesday, it didn't really take off because I think it was a bit before its time.
They would do it now.
But if they'd done it now, it'd be different. But obviously this is coming from their peers. I think there'll be a certain degree of a shoot element to this, but I obviously think there'll be a lot of storyline to do with this, to get the people that are not so much like a Ty Dillinger. We've not seen Ty on SmackDown for a bit. Last couple of shows he's been on.
Okay.
Rusev, we've seen what he's done. Everyone's going to be behind Rusev. Zack Ryder potentially could be another person that gets something from this. I think it's just another way to build up the credibility of a superstar.
And if we're going to say it does make it different from Raw.
Yeah.
So that's what
it needs to be. Raw and SmackDown need to be different.
As different as possible.
2 different ways to do things.
Charlotte is in ring. She's cutting a promo on basically the Rumble. Her, Asuka, Ronda Rousey, all in the ring together. Alexa Bliss.
Says that she would, for the first time in her life, not want to be a champion, which I think makes sense. If I was her, I'd want to be in the Rumble.
She wanted to be. Yeah. She wanted to be in that Rumble, and if she won, she wanted to face Bliss at WrestleMania to unify not unify, but beat Bliss. Regardless, the Riot Squad come out and very quickly beat her down to the point where, as they're just leaving after they beat her up, Carmella comes out with a referee. She wants to cash in her missed Money in the Bank opportunity. Now, we have not seen her try and cash in. I think I said to you earlier, did she try it on Bliss maybe?
I think there's been a couple of times. I don't.
Not for a long time.
But you almost forgot that she's got the money on Brett. She does carry it around. She dances around, whatever she does with it.
She has it, but Anyway,
Carmella doesn't have matches. I've not seen Carmella have a match in a while.
She doesn't.
And
she's in scraps.
Yeah. But is it that logic? The Money in the Bank briefcase holder always loses before they cash in, and then it gives the surprise element.
Unless you're Baron Corbin, Damien Sandow,
or John Cena.
They're the only 3, I think.
Yeah. Just quickly before, obviously, the cashing thing, Ruby Riott had a promo, and before the beatdown, she got a lot of time on the mic.
She did,
a lot
actually.
of time, and I think she done very well.
Long walk, didn't fluster.
I mean, Liv and Sarah Logan had nothing to do. They stood there and looked like a couple of goons.
Look angry girls.
But it was good to see that Ruby got time on the mic. She done very well.
Like I think I said before, okay, on the indies, mic time isn't necessarily something that you get because you don't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
But as a wrestler, she's been around for such a long time.
And you can tell that in her promo.
That's why
she mentioned it in her promo.
Well, that's why it's the Riot Squad and not the Logan Squad or the Liv Morgan Squad, because she is
the Liv Squad.
Oh my god! Oh, I feel dirty. That's why she's there, and she's the perfect person in that. And now, because of unfortunate circumstances on Raw with Paige, that group's looking great.
Yeah,
the Riot Squad, and we didn't think we'd be saying that.
No.
They do have a pinfall victory over Charlotte. Well, Ruby Riott has pinned Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't care how it's come about. She's pinned her. That's record books say Ruby Riott pinned Charlotte.
Doesn't say how, just says who won.
Right, exactly.
But on to the cash in. I quite quickly clocked on to the fact that a cash-in potentially could happen once Ruby Riot come out. It probably wasn't until about they got into the ring I was like, yeah, this cash-in's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then...
The one thing for me that suggested, okay, once Carmella come out, I was like, the one point where I thought it's not going to go ahead is when she went up to Charlotte and started sort of like kicking her hand. Saying,
Yeah.
Are you here? Are you here? If you're cashing in, you cash in, you grab them, you hit a move, you pin them.
Yeah.
You don't dick around with that kind of stuff. So for me, that was when I thought, what's going to happen?
I like the way how it didn't end up happening. The ref got taken out.
What a bum, though.
Yeah.
Ref brother.
Yeah.
Two ref
and it was different. It was good to see.
Brilliant. Really loved
You
it.
know,
Good, but like,
will they tease another cash in soon?
why not? They have to.
I
Charlotte,
so. I mean, technically, Carmella's only got another 5 months left of that contract.
it's over. He's nearly half a year.
Yeah,
It's a lot, mate. Honestly, for me,
it won't
Charlotte,
happen before Mania.
if I look at SmackDown, Charlotte looks untouchable.
Yeah.
Legitimately, she looks like legitimately untouchable. Her in the ring with Bliss, even with Asuka and Ronda, I think Charlotte, for me, if they're going to go after her, they're going to have to bring A game because she's the woman for me. She's the measuring stick.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, if you talk about guys basically wrestling the girls, she could hang all day long.
Yeah.
She is legit awesome. You know, so they need to find a way to bring the other girls up. Don't bring her down. Bring the other girls up.
Yeah.
So by having Carmella, I basically have her stalk Charlotte until WrestleMania. Make Charlotte nervous. Make Charlotte edgy.
Yeah, just sit ringside.
Sit ringside.
No microphone, just sit there.
Doesn't even when Charlotte's down. Don't do anything. Don't even cash in. Wait for the next time.
Yeah.
Just wait your chance. But yeah, really like this. It basically makes you remember that Charlotte is potentially vulnerable as that women's champion. Is there anything you just want to put on that?
I'm gonna throw this out there, and obviously 31st of January 2018, mark it down that Carmella will cash in her briefcase at WrestleMania in a match between Charlotte and Asuka.
Okay.
So Asuka remains undefeated, even though she doesn't win the title. That's what I'm going to say, and that is out there right now.
So you think that Carmella will pin Charlotte?
Yeah.
So you think, wow. So that means Ronda will go against Bliss?
Ronda will probably be in a tag match, I think,
You think it will boil down?
against Triple H and Steph. And, you know, whether The Rock turns up or it's Braun or it's, you know, anyone.
It's too early to say.
Yeah, it's too early to see what she's doing.
But interesting.
That's what I'm throwing
We'll
out.
mark that down. We move on, Kizza. Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin, which on the outset looked more of a street fight. They kick the crap out of each other, these boys.
They've had matches for a while. They had matches on NXT, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
I think they've even had one at a takeover.
They did.
Between the two. Obviously, it all come about from a backstage segment. Again, little preview to the match. Talked about Baron Corbin not being able to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, which always pisses him off.
Short fuse.
But obviously Ty was there speaking to Shane about why he, obviously the event on Sunday where he got beaten up by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And this led to this match. Be interesting to see if Ty gets anything because of that, him not being in the Rumble in the future.
Title shot.
Title shot, maybe. Just randomly one show against AJ. Or even
Could be a great match. A bit like Neville against Seth back in the day.
Yeah, just randomly.
Superb match.
But hard-hitting match.
Really, I mean, like I said, it was really unfortunate. When he hit at the end of days, the crowd kind of came up a little bit. Again, didn't seem into it. Could be that theory we're talking about. This is the fourth night of wrestling. When you see a match that, unfortunately for these two gentlemen, despite them being phenomenal wrestlers and great athletes, unfortunately, it doesn't mean anything.
No.
So on the fourth day of wrestling, if you're there every single week, every single day, you're not going to be this involved.
No.
Maybe that's why they were quiet, but they were very, very quiet. I just noted that down as I look past. We go backstage segment before our main event. Actually, we've got two matches left, but just before the tag match before our main event, Gable and Benjamin were backstage. They interrupted a Q&A with Breezango and the Ascension, and they trashed the laptops.
Yeah.
They
Not
trashed
the laptops.
Not the lappy tuppies. It does roll into a tag team match with Breezango versus Gable and Benjamin, and Gable and Benjamin obviously win. Again, it's one of those things where it's like you could see Breezango just stealing that quick run through, but it just again.
It's good to see more tag matches, and I said it throughout this whole show that they need to start building tag teams up. How they do it, it's not for me to say.
Like I say, I think Gable should have stayed a single star. I think I love Show and Benjamin. Maybe put them together is better for Gable like long term.
Long term, yeah.
But short term for me, it's just like I just want to see him because he's a great wrestler and as a babyface. He's a good heel because he's good on the mic.
Yeah.
but I love him as a baby. We'll move on to our main event, our last little piece of this week's Dirt Sheet Mania. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Like you said earlier in the show about them two having a disagreement because Daniel Bryan's already made that match for next week for the implications for the number one contendership for Fastlane. The tags between the two are slaps on the chest, big chops basically. Yeah. You're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. Refusals to tag, heavy tags. Eventually this all boils down to Sami going, you know what, Kev, to hell with this. Yeah. I'm off, bud. And with the next time we see Sami is backstage with Renee Young, literally after the match is finished. So after Kevin then thinks, actually, 2-on-1, don't fancy this so much. Kevin tries to leg it. AJ grabs him back in. Whoppa, Kinshasa from Shinsuke Nakamura. We've got a win for your dream team. We go backstage with Renee and Sami. Sami's like, and Renee goes, is this the end of your friendship? Sami's like, no, it's not the end of the friendship, but this is my chance. I've never been WWE champion. Kevin has.
Which was the original reason why Sami joined up with Kevin, because he wasn't getting the opportunities.
And why he came to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Two reasons in a ball.
What I would have liked to see, and this leads on to the mixed match challenge, I haven't watched it, but I've seen it. Could Kevin Owens have come down in the middle of this match to cost Sami a match? Or be there for like encouragement? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And because that match up there, even though Strowman and Bliss won, I think Sami and Becky were quite, in terms of the people that they are and the characters they are, quite a strong tag team, I'd say, out of most people there.
And not just because they're both obviously with red hair, but like they fit.
Yeah,
they really do. They're sort of the way they dress.
They've known each other for a while as well, even before WWE.
The way they dress, the kind of
maybe Kevin Owens could have just come down and said, "Look, what's going on? Why'd you do that to me?" And then that just cost Sami getting done by Braun Strowman and Brock Mace a bit. But it didn't happen. It was just one of those things. Mm-hmm. They're teasing dissension for Kevin and Sami. Mm-hmm. I ultimately see them not splitting up because I think they'll end up in a tag team match.
I could see them tag team champions.
Yeah, because
that's another team.
Yeah,
if the Usos are going to get beat, have them. I can see that. Okay, wouldn't be where they both want to be, but Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens winning the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania against the Usos, that'd be such a good match, though, I think. That'd be a very good match between four phenomenal wrestlers.
But I think they'll end up in some sort of tag team match at Mania against a Shane McMahon and a partner or something like that. I think that was the rumours a couple of weeks ago.
It depends how this rolls on.
But it depends how it goes. And, this week there was no dissension between Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. No. And there wasn't anything to do with...
And we now know where Daniel hangs his hat.
Yeah.
Hangs it
this week, anyway.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. This has been Dirt Sheet Mania. Kieran, you've been the director. Thank you very much.
I'm always the director. I've not just been the director. I am the director of creativity.
Yeah, you are. I've been the voice, Craig Anderson. This has been Dirt Sheet Mania. Thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you next week. See you later.